show, everyone. And you know what? Happy holidays coming up in like, what, 12, 13 days here. My first guest has been on with me now at least a couple of years. I have with me Ken Kilday, and he's the owner of Leaders Cut. You are a professional certified coach. You are an executive coach. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, so Carol, when I used to earn a paycheck from someone else, I used to run a business in executive leadership, and then I started my own business. And I realized that all of us who start businesses or run businesses kind of have the same issues, right? We work really hard, we take accountability for what we're doing, but we kind of fill our plate a little too full, and that hard work only gets us so far. And suddenly we realize, hey, I need a system, I need a process for getting my great ideas onto paper and getting other people to help me out so that I can keep growing. And that's why I started the coaching practice. So it took some of what I learned and the mistakes I made and turned it into a framework that other business owners can use, so they can stop doing everything and wearing every hat, and as I call it, they professionalize the operation. Keep going.
Now, you are certified, and I want you to explain to them what that means, because, there's coaches.
Sure, yeah.
And then there's coaches.
We can all call ourselves a coach. There's no regulatory body, if you will, that's going to keep you from calling yourself whatever you like to be. However, there are some organizations like the International Coaching Federation that bring a standard to my industry. And so last year, I earned my professional certified coach designation. I've had some other education behind it, but in order to be designated a professional certified coach, I went through an underlying education, so 200 hours of education, meaning I became a certified organizational development coach, a certified international executive coach, a certified change management coach, and a certified career coach. And that gave me my hours. And then I also had to log 500 coaching hours. And then I had to submit several actual client calls with their permission, obviously, to a master certified coach who then made sure I was following the requirements. So it's a gold standard. It's a way for clients to know that I come with certain credentials before they start sharing all of their details about their business, all of their private and proprietary information, so they know that I have some credentials to be getting that information and to be treating it correctly and to have an idea of how I'm going to help them as they tell me what they want to solve.
Well, what I love what you do when you come here is you kind of, I think the way you are here is the way that you work with your clients.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not a show persona. It's just me.
It is. And I want you to talk a little bit about what you offer, and because you've built a program for people and you give a lot away. You're also an author, and I want to talk about your book. It's the 6 Silver Bullets, and I know it as To Grow Any Business Fast.
6 Silver Bullets you need to grow any business fast. It's the 6 most common mistakes that people made. But to back up, I think that every business owner needs to sort of experience information in a natural evolution and distill it for themselves. And I think that on your own is a good way for business owners to distill information, because that's how they start their business. They did it on their own, and they want to consume information, at least initially, in the private and the quiet. So that's why I offer the ebook. I offer some coursework through you, of course, some other calculators, because that will give people a sense of, do they really want to do it themselves, or would they like a partner in the process? So have to experience first, and then they'll decide if they want a partner in the process, and then eventually they'll get to the part of if they want that partner too.
Well, here's what I also love, that you've given so much. And let me tell you something, folks. I know that the holidays are right down the pike here, and what a great time, because obviously we've talked about this. There's never not a good time where you shouldn't be working on yourself and your business.
Right, and I think that the holidays is a perfect time for you, business owner, to recognize that the best investment, the best gift you can give yourself is investing in yourself through coaching.
That's very true.
That's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, because it will then turn into how you give to your employees, how you turn that into success for them as contributors to your business and your business overall. It is a win-win situation all the way around. Everyone will benefit from the investments you make in yourself.
Now, you have an academy that we offer through me for free. And let me tell you something, folks, you gotta call in here and get this. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. And it doesn't, we've talked about this a million times about how you don't have to be a large business, or you could be a solopreneur. I think that's almost perfect with you. You work with
Right.
all sorts of businesses.
All sorts of businesses, but it's also why we designed the program the way we designed it. So if you're more entry level or you're solo, you can digest some of the information and it will work very well for you. If you're a larger enterprise, then you may need a partner. You may need the so-called fractional executive to be part of your leadership team to help you move. If you're a solopreneur, you're making all the decisions. Once you've made it, it's going to get done because you're going to be the one taking the action. But the Silver Bowl Academy, so the 6 Silver Bowls, those 6 mistakes that business owners tend to make, we don't necessarily make all 6, but at some point or another, we're going to make at least one of them, if not more. And this is a way to get in front of that, or to give you a couple of tips, tricks, and truths to help you solve at least one of the most notable that you usually bring up is time. And that's the way every client that I have now has brought up the fact that they simply don't have enough time. And my challenge is we all have the same 168 hours a week. What we do with it is what differentiates us. And that can be a competitive advantage. So if you have competitors to whatever it is your business is doing, and I would venture to guess that you do, then you being able to handle time better than your competitor will set you apart. It will give you durable success, and it will certainly give you some profit.
Now, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get from me, by calling me, this academy for free. So when you go up onto his website, which is makingthecut.biz, you go up there, you're gonna see this, but the academy's gonna have a price on it, but don't pay for it. Don't do that. Call me. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're going to love that you do this. The gift that you give to yourself by making this phone call.
Once you get in there, here's the flexibility of it, is there may be 6 mistakes. You don't need to read everything sequentially, and once you get into the academy, we expand each one of those 6 into 21 total, so we get a little bit more micro, give a little bit more direction, a few more resources. Again, you choose your own adventure. So if getting a handle on your time is what dogs you right now
It does.
That's what you want to start with. And for anybody who's thinking, gosh, I'll just wait till January, wait till the first of the year. I don't know what's going to happen between now and then that's going to make everything better for you. But the best time to begin to invest in yourself and change your 2025 is right now, while we're still in 2024.
That number to call here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You will get that academy for free by calling me. You can check it out on the website. It's makingthecut.biz. And I also we're going to talk a little bit about your book, which we're going to talk about after the break. And you're going to absolutely love the way that when you are everything, whether you're reading the book or whether you are doing the academy or anything, you feel like you have Ken right there with you. That's how I love that part about how your books and everything are.
Right, it's the first chance for you to get to know what it's like to have a professional business coach right alongside you.
So go to the website, it is makingthecut.biz, or call in here and get this academy for free from me. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. Still live in the room. There was something I was going to say, oh my God, it went in one ear and out the other.
Something about time.
I don't remember. It was something that you were talking about. And I know you talked about time, but it was something other than that. And it'll get back to me. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, let's talk about time for a second.
Sure.
Because, when you say that it's how you manage your time, how does one manage time?
It's a Well, it's the whole theory that Stephen Covey talked about in the 7 Habits a long time ago, putting first things first, and people can get stuck in that of first things because as the owner, because we used to do everything, we think that we're accountable to it. It's not that we think we're better at it than anyone else is necessarily, although that might pop up. It's more about, and this I run into this with really great leaders all the time. They don't want to hand off things because they feel like their team is already working really hard. So they feel like they're putting upon people that are already giving a lot of effort. And to flip that paradigm, it's yes, and when we give people a chance to do things, they feel like they get to learn and grow in their job. And that actually keeps really good people with you. Giving them more to do and helping them learn new things is a way to keep really good people engaged in your company and learning more and more. It's another one of those win-wins, and it seems like a paradox at first. That's how you start to create more time is first, figuring out who could be doing things that would be interested in learning how to do that. The second part is some of those silly distractions. I got a quick question. Some of that is just people want to engage with the leader because they don't get to unless they come ask a question. And we don't have a formal way to engage with people in a one-to-one, a coaching session, a career conversation. So we just go ask them questions. We're not even know the answer. So you kind of flip that again. I often encourage owners to get out of the office or get into a different office and give people a chance to figure things out, and they'll be surprised that all those interruptions suddenly go away because it gives people a chance to learn. And then create a formal mechanism where people get to engage with you, like office hours.
I used to say I should have never worked from home, and I should have gotten an office, because by that, those distractions, there's more distractions. And I'm very disciplined, you know. I mean, I know there's people that'll do their laundry or they'll watch a little whatever.
Sure.
I don't do that. But there's other distractions,
Sure.
you know.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
all tons of them. And yet, you probably would have been a lot better to have done that, you know. But there's trade-offs, I guess.
Always.
Yeah. Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. You want to talk about being a leader, your own leader, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I think that's another thing. Let's talk about that, because you know, business owners, listen up out there, you business owners, especially the presidents and the executives of the business. It starts at the top.
It does, and you don't have to call yourself a chief executive or a chief operating officer or chief financial officer. Whether you call yourself that or not, you may functionally be that and be perceived as that in your company. Either way, you are. And this is the conversation I've been having this fourth quarter with a lot of my existing clients is how are you role modeling the behavior you hope to see? So if you've got an issue with people just not using their time very effectively, you have to look at yourself first because you're the leader, so you have to lead by example. And that sounds funny until you really look at just how often things come up of when leaders talk about one of their team members and what they like them to work on. Usually they're watching their leader do the exact same thing. That's why they're doing it, because that's the example they're following. So if you want your team to be better about their time, to be more effective with their time, to not waste time, if you will, then you have to role model that as well. There's a whole lot of components that go into that. I was just talking this week with a founder who they've realized that one of their team members gets frozen up and wastes time because they're so worried about getting something wrong. And it's usually about it's their perception that there's even a right way to do something because it's a creative enterprise. So there's not one answer.
I think the answer is being prepared.
It's prepared. Well, it's prepared and it's using the time. So if I have 22 minutes to do any particular task, I get 22 minutes and I don't take 28. I manage my time very effectively by taking a look at the totality of it and deciding what I'm going to need to be successful. So it's the planning.
And I think you walk the talk. I just have this feeling about you that you are like that with every portion.
Well, and I make mistakes.
Well, everybody
And
does.
Right, it's usually, I go through that same period of, usually if I'm struggling with something, it's because I'm not following through on my own.
Right, but you know what though, I know you, I know how you worked, or I know when not to call you, kind of thing. But, I think we've been talking a lot about time, obviously right now, everybody can relate to that, because it just seems like the time is flying by,
Right.
and no matter what, even if we're all doing too much, is basically, I think, what we're saying.
Well, we're all falling into the trap of thinking we can multitask, so instead of doing one thing well, we do 5 things crappy. And nothing's done complete, and it's not done well, and we've missed a detail, and so we have to go back, and,
How many people can relate to what he's saying right now?
Sure. I mean, how many studies do you have to read to realize absolutely no one of any age group, gender, generation, or anything else multitasks worth a day?
And
Just
we
don't.
are probably the worst at it, right?
Yeah, it only gets worse with technology because we think that makes us better.
Well, we have our lines open here for everyone to get his academy now. On the whole entire program has so many things that you offer. The book, which, by the way, we didn't mention, it only takes 23 minutes to read. And again, time, you make it short,
Sure.
quick, and sweet, like that?
23 minutes, and I'm not a particularly fast reader, I'm a pretty average reader. So, maybe it'll only take you 18, but it's worth it. Don't have 18, we'll start at whichever one of those mistakes.
Right, and
Start
we're gonna
there.
talk, let's go to some of those mistakes, because obviously, how are you working with your time? I don't know if I've passed it yet or not, but I wanna go to some of the different ones. For you, obviously, time has been the number one. Also, people not realizing, and I'm gonna go to that profit calculator there,
calculator.
because I think it's really important, especially this time of year, where people are trying to figure out, okay, well, how did I do, right, for the year, this and that, how many phone calls have I made, how many
Right.
deals have I?
Yeah, the not so secret to business is that being successful in life and business at home is small, really healthy habits that you repeat and stay consistent with. That's what really makes it. And the profit equation calculator basically takes all those elements of business, whether it's net new clients, whether it's conversion rate from. Every business has some sort of mechanism to convert prospective clients into clients, prospective customers into customers, and so on. So do you know your numbers? And that's, when the few times I get a business owner that is resistant, it's usually because I'm asking about the numbers and they don't know about the numbers, and they want to talk about, working inside the business rather than working on the business. The point of the calculator is not to do that, it's more to show them how very small changes done consistently, performed consistently over time, can result in really big outcomes.
What's amazing about the calculator is that you can realize that you are doing better than you thought, and you don't have to deal with that.
Right.
And now you've got more time to focus on another area.
It's a way to put the first things first. If you know that you're already a really great prospector, if you will, you're very good at speaking to interested prospective clients and turning them into real clients, then you don't need to improve on that part. What you need to improve on is maybe, client communication or something, right? People leave because they feel like you're not communicating with them, when indeed you're just doing the work behind the scenes. Again, getting those small things right that have a big outcome.
And you get all of this that he's offering for free, except the academy. But the academy, if you call me, you're gonna get it for free. So we've got our lines open here for everyone, and I'm gonna let everyone call. We're gonna be talking about this for the next half hour here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free is 1-866-536-1100. Go up onto his website, which is makingthecut.biz. You're gonna get the book. Along with the book, you get the emails,
There's an e-coaching series that will come up following your download of the book. Again, tangible takeaways, every single one of them for you to execute in your business if it fits. There's templates throughout, and throughout I invite you to reach out to me if you have a question, a comment, or you'd like to engage. But again, it's a choose your own adventure. And speaking about time, if you think about it, time is the number one the number one issue that I hear about from everybody. It presents differently, but it is always the number one issue, and that's why the first mistake is not having an exit strategy. And I tie it together because the reason time is an issue is because most owners are in a reactionary state, right? They're responding to the calls that are coming in, the emails that are coming in, the interruptions that are coming in, and they're not planning. And it's the planning that reverses that. So
Well,
it's the intention.
And I think okay, let's talk about having a coach that helps you do that. And you've explained to people many, many times how you don't go in there to tell somebody how to do.
No.
Not at all.
Nope. No.
Use your analogies.
Use my analogy. So this is the role of a coach, is not to teach you how to play the game. It's to give you objective observations about how you are playing the game and how to use your strengths to play it more effectively for you. This is about you, your core values, which you believe, the reason that you started the business in the first place, and the reason that you were so successful in approaching maybe something that has been around a very long time in a completely unique way. I'm there to help you professionalize all that. So you did it by yourself for a long time. Now let's design the system so your best employees can follow along with you. And part of that first step is, what's your exit strategy? Did you want to sell this thing to a corporate conglomerate and make money and that's your retirement? Did you want to sell it to the employees? Did you want to win one of your business-minded kids? Whatever it is, I don't have an attachment to any of the things that it is what's the intention, and then we design, again, your operation around that. This is about me partnering with you to make the most of your talent, your belief, your industry, your thoughts, your values, and turn that into a professional operation.
I also think what's nice to have you there too is because once you start a business, if you don't do this beforehand and you just start working on your business, all of a sudden you turn around at 17 years later.
Well, that's it, and most of us start business that way, right? We weren't happy where we were, we knew we could do it better, we had a philosophy behind it, and we got busy doing it. So work ethic is never the issue with business owners. I've never met a lazy business owner because those don't go together. They just don't. They have grit, they have drive, they have ethic. To a fault, right? They're always willing to work longer hours. The bigger question is, are they willing to work fewer hours and more effectively?
I love that, and I'm one probably needs to do that too. We've got our lines open here, and we're going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for this. You do already get the book. You're going to get the coaching, all of that emails that you get. You're going to get the profit calculator. What else is up there? There's the academy that you have to pay for, you're going to get for free by calling me. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check them out on the website. This is where you can see it all. It's makingthecut.biz. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. Now this is the heartbreak.
Okay.
And I know what I want to ask you. Did you have that forever?
No, it's brand new.
I know.
It'll be a tribute to my kids. So there's goes all the way up. There's kid 1, 3, 5, and then 2, 4, 6, and then we'll tie it all together.
Go back on it. What is that?
It's a Celtic compass,
Okay.
and
that's for what kid?
This is number 1, Aaron.
But I don't know why does that represent the
I'll
one?
email it to you. It's a whole big write-up that I did first for the artist. Yeah, it's a whole Celtic design. So,
You have how many kids?
6.
Keep it at that.
Well, there won't be any rules.
Well, you can go the other arm.
Well, that's good.
Oh, you have that one there too? Is that new too?
No,
Because I don't think I've ever
that's
seen
12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? An ankle?
This is a cross with a dragon on it,
Okay.
defending faith.
Okay.
And then on the back is a tree of life, so where I come from, my life, and then the birds fly to leave a legacy. This becomes legacy.
Did you, I have to ask, did you also draw them out and create them?
No. I let the artist do that. So I find pictures I like, and then he customizes them. So I found somebody that I looked through his work. Well, somebody that knows somebody that's done work, so I could see it. So So this guy is two things. He's primarily an artist, so he does murals, full-scale murals. He paints pools in Scottsdale. So if some of these people want to look like an ocean instead of a pool,
that's
so
really
he
neat.
does that. His expertise is in cover-ups, which are pretty hard to do.
What does that mean, cover up?
Somebody's got a shitty tattoo.
Oh, okay.
They want to cover it. He
Okay.
designs a cover. It's harder some things. And there's certain things you have to blend into other things for it to look correct. So he does all that. He does a lot of freehand work. These are specific pictures. He'll go back through and add his
I
custom
can't wait to
stuff.
read about that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah,
You must have it there. I gotta read it first.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Each one represents the kids in the room specifically.
And each child, from what I remember you telling me, and I'm not sure if I'm right or not, they come from another country, right?
Yeah.
All of them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Three are German, then France, Denmark, and Finland.
Have you had them since small or
They're
no?
just here for 1 year in high school.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what
They're
I
high
remember.
schoolers. Yeah, I specialize in dealing with high school teenagers. Very good at it.
Is there a reason?
That's just when they go on exchange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when.
I have another friend of mine who does that, who does, who gets exchange students. She's had like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I think once you do it, you can't help but do it again, I guess.
yeah. We thought it would be fun, and it was. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really neat. That's a good guy.
Yeah.
And then they become your family.
Yeah, they used to call us their American dads.
Wow.
And the second
And how
one,
long usually, but like 1 year?
Just 1 year.
And they get that close with you?
Oh yeah, it's pretty quick. Yeah,
That's neat.
yeah. They're just like, yeah. I mean, we're.
I mean, I
we
know
are
you
their-
write this. Have you ever just written about you?
No. Yeah, I'll share anything anybody asks me for, but in the work that I do, that's about.
I'm not saying that it would be a book that you would sell necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I've written some blogs on the topic, like tying it to life and leadership.
But just
success.
that part, yeah, leadership because starts with, family.
Yeah. It does.
You got time.
All its dysfunctional.
What's that?
All its dysfunctional examples. We both have stories from our parents.
But I think that's all good, dysfunctional,
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't dysfunctional,
I mean,
You
you'll
wouldn't
never find a gifted comedian that didn't have some sort of trauma in their childhood. I mean, that's
most
just,
of them, yeah,
that's how they learn to
totally.
cope.
It's sad though, some, I know.
Well, yeah. I mean, the funnier they are, it was a more substantial trauma. That was their escape. That's how they got through.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, keep picking up the
And a
headphones.
lot of
I'm like,
people-
we're not back for 2 more minutes. Minute and a half.
What's
I
that?
said, we're not back for 2 more minutes. You kept picking up your headphones, so I thought we were.
I thought we were,
No,
but
that's
because I was
great.
watching him, what?
So
That's
let's
cousin
wrap it
it,
up.
uh-huh.
He's telling us to wrap it.
That's not graphic. He's taking 30 seconds. Excuse me. Okay, here we go.
Wrap it up.
So welcome back, everyone. Let me just tell you something. Pick up the phone right now and call in here and get this academy for me. Everybody who is a business owner, and you could be a solopreneur, you can have a small business, medium size, doesn't matter. Everybody right now, this time of the year, I know it's busy, I know it's crazy, but it's also a time for you to work on yourself and get ready for next year. Do not wait till next year to do this. You're gonna love that you called in here. You're getting this academy from me for free, and all you have to do is call 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Go up onto his website, which is makingthecut.biz. Okay, let's go over here to some of these other things, because, well, when you talk about mistakes, right, and there's so many that people make, right? I want to talk. We did want taking what you're saying about talking about time, talking about starting from the end first.
Have it starting with the end in mind.
In mind, okay. But some of these other things, like for instance, I like this one, no tactical strategy. So that means,
Well, that's part of the reaction.
that's like me, just starting to work and
Just
that's it,
go.
you go.
Well, and that comes from the way we form businesses, which is just go, right? It's the startup mentality of, it doesn't matter if there's water on the floor, it doesn't matter who mops it up. But at some point, that's healthy in the sense of we're all willing to help, but it's unhealthy in the sense that that's not for the CEO to do, because she needs to be making decisions. So while she's busy cleaning the floor, there are several decisions she didn't get to make. That's the point of not having a strategy and just being reactionary every day, is you don't have the right person doing the right thing at the right time. And that's why the business stays in a reactionary mode. You can be very successful as a business owner, and anyone who owns a business has had some amount of success along the way, but we plateau at some point. The behaviors we institute only get us so far. So that's why it becomes a mistake, is if, it's a Yogi Berra quote, right? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. You have to know where you're going. So if the thought is, well, gosh, I'd really love to double my revenue in 2 years. Okay, that's the headline. Now let's develop a strategy that gets us there, because just wishing and hoping is not a strategy.
So they call you. I want to talk about what that looks like when you work with your clients, because the first thing is all about getting to know each other.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, well, first it's a chemistry call, right? We're trying to see if we have.
I like the way you put that.
If we like each other, trust each other. I mean, you get a feel for whether or not we're going to get along pretty quickly in both directions, and that's going to be important going forward, right? Because my clients, they trust me to keep their confidences. They confide in me. I usually have a pretty good idea of the elements of money in their business. Those are all very private. So even though there's very formal components of any engagement that I'm going to keep it confidential, they want to get a sense for, am I somebody that's going to keep it confidential? So first step is a chemistry call. Let's see if we click. And then let's get to the heart of, hey, when you heard me on the Carol show, read through some of the information, what came to mind? What thing would you love to change that's going to make all the difference in the world? So this time next year, if everything stayed exactly the same, how would you feel? And in order to feel elated, what would have to change, if anything? It's that kind of a conversation. Because there's something that they would like to change, there's something that they'd like to improve, there's something that is going on. So it's just a matter of hearing them out and getting to know things.
Do you hear a lot from some of your clients that, that, let's say they have to hire people because they don't have anybody else that's gonna be able to do those things that you're saying, you need to hand off some of these things or what have you?
Yeah, after time management, people I would say coaching is really about helping owners with money, people, and time. Like you could, there may be 6 mistakes, but if you really look at our businesses, Carol, and any business, for anyone who's listening, there's only 3 issues that pop up, and it's those 3 categories. They thought they'd make more money, or they didn't realize how much things cost, or how much taxes are, that sort of thing. Money management. Cash is the fuel of the aircraft. Without the cash, the engines will stop. Without fuel, the engines stop in the crash. People, and that's, we already talked about time, but people's the other component of, we start hiring people, we didn't realize how hard it would be to find the right people, how hard it is to keep the best people, how much time and attention they need, and where to find them. So sometimes clients come to me, we're talking about people no matter what, but one of the issues is they're capped with growth because they can barely keep up backfilling people that don't need them. So usually we go a couple of steps upstream to talk about the hiring plan. And that's, again, understanding who are you trying to hire. If you don't hire, it's not just a skill, right? If you're hiring a bookkeeper, yes, you want someone with bookkeeping skills, and you want them to fit your core values. That's where the friction comes in. We think because the resume says they know how to keep books, that they're going to be a great fit for my organization. I may have a fundamental philosophy about how I run my business that is different than they've seen before. We want to make sure there's a fit.
Well, that's where you come in, and then we could sit down and have a conversation. You do a free consultation, like
Of
I
course.
said, you've gotta get to know him. And you can also just call him direct at 602-820-6978. The best thing to do is to go up onto the website and check out all of these different things that he's telling you that he offers to you for free. And see what these little steps that you start taking take you to the steps to leading to Ken.
Exactly. I make it as easy as I possibly can. If you call me, I'll call you back. If you email, I'll email back. If you text, I'll text back. Whatever mode you prefer to work in is the mode I'll answer you in.
And you can also, you'll see there, when you go up onto the website, it's makingthecut.biz, that you are going to see that there's Academy there that is, there's a cost to it, but if you call me, you're gonna get it for free. And do it now. Don't wait till after the first year. When you hear this is the time to call now. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I also want to talk about how when you work with people, and they end up working with you for a long time just because they love you and what you've done with them. But a lot of people right away think, well, if I hire a coach, they're just going to want to do and drag it out.
Drag it out,
And I don't
yeah.
think you're like that at all.
No, we always specify the engagement, right? It's a 6-month engagement that leads to another 6, so that we're always talking about what we accomplished and what we're going to accomplish. We don't want to get into a situation where, I'm not yes, I become close to people, but at the same time, the coaching element is not sort of rent a friend, if you will. Right? We can stay friends for free, but I want to make sure we're accomplishing the work. So we do have those checkpoints all along the way. No matter what the scope of the engagement, we're always going to have checkpoints to make sure you're getting an ROI. Coaching, if you look it up, you can Google and look it up, but coaching has a 5 to 7 times return on the investment for the coaching fees that we charge. My clients usually experience at the year mark, they're usually experiencing a 10x.
There you go. So, I mean, it makes sense, and not to try and do these things on your own. It's wonderful to be able to have somebody there. We've talked about this too. Every single athlete out there has a coach, right? And anybody who wants to better themselves, really, you need a coach.
Yeah, in athletics, if you want to win a championship, you have a coach. If you want to play just casual on the weekend, you don't need one.
And by the way, let me just tell you something. If you just want to be mediocre at what you do, that's fine.
Yeah,
But if you want to make the cut,
that's me.
that's
That's a
Ken.
partnership. And I just want to point out that return on investment, that's about my client making the effort. It's not the coach, right? It's, in fitness, where we say, it's the person who wants to be fit has to pick up the barbell. I can't do that part for you. So that return on investment is because my clients do a lot of work on themselves, on their business, on their leadership, on their organization, because they do want to be successful and they do want to win the championship.
That number to call here for the Academy, you'll get it from me for free. You're gonna love it that you did. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Go up onto his website. It's makingthecut.biz.